Cool. Okay, we're online.
Yes.
Okay, so we basically have to create an attribute accessor with history, which is quite interesting. Have you seen how this works? It's quite interesting.
It returns the history of the values.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So like attribute accessor, but with history. So every time the value gets reset, it keeps track of the history of that value.
Value, yes.
Okay, so blah blah blah.
Okay, so are we going to run the tests and then work from there?
I think this one might require a little bit more closer looking at how it works. Just have a read through there on the documentation on like the points,
Okay.
especially that last point.
Note that one powerful metaprogramming feature.
Hmm. Hmm. That add method thing looks quite interesting. Is that in the code already?
No, that's not.
Okay, cool. So we got, if you look at the class, we've got attribute name there already, right?
Yes.
There, right? So make sure it's a string. They set up an attribute reader for that and for the history. Hmm. That's quite interesting.
Attribute name plus what's happening there plus
So
history.
basically, so like, we had bar, right? So there's an attribute reader for bar. There's an
Okay.
attribute reader for bar underscore history that gets set up as well.
Oh, okay, I understand.
So now what we need to do is, let's uncomment the tests first of all. I'll go do that. Right, so now everything should be fading nicely. I don't think I've started up auto test yet. That auto testing is pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
Cool. So I think the one trick here, right? This attribute accessor with history thing is going to work exactly the same as a normal attribute accessor, except on the equals method, we need to save its history value, and we need to also set the current value. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So, so we created an attribute reader, right? We created an attribute reader for the history. Over here, we need to set the initial values as well, right?
Yes. Hmm.
So at the beginning, so if you have a look back at that documentation, they're saying you can define anything. Yeah, so this string that we create in class eval basically gets run dynamically. So whatever values are in here will get created. So we can go like at hash north at
History. No.
right? So
Okay.
set the initial value to null, right?
Yes.
Didn't like that. Hold on, it's fading here. Underscore name. We should have access to attribute name, don't we?
Hmm. attribute name.
Should have access to that, shouldn't we? According to the thing, we don't.
Maybe we should just try and print that name, or just see if we can do that.
Okay.
No, but it should. Okay.
Let's just see something here. Let's see what it's giving us. Okay, so it's fading. It's not going totally crazy. Let's. Is that also not mad? Yeah. Unified local variable method foo. Okay, that makes sense. What about that?
Okay.
Still not fading. Okay. Cool. So that works. Let's just check. I don't think we need to set that value as such. Okay. What did I do wrong before that didn't really work?
Did we have to add hash?
I'm not too shabby. Maybe I missed that. Okay, let me just check. That doesn't like horribly die. No. So we don't need to set because like by default the value will be null, I suppose.
Yes.
We do need to define a method called. If we look here, we can go define hash. Sorry, I'm not just doing everything here. So we define a method, and then we have to go hash at hash
Attribute name equals value.
We need to keep a history of the value, right?
Yes.
At hash attribute name.
It's the value. Okay.
I was saying it's null. Let's spell it right, eh?
Attribute something with history should remember history set for each instance.
Okay, so it doesn't like that.
That do okay.
Why? If we take this out, let's just see. Okay, so we need to have an attribute name history method as well to get the
Okay.
values out. Do you want to write that one? So it's going to have to be in the class eval thing as well.
Like that.
Yeah. Put the space there, yeah.
History. Okay, and
Why does it always do that? It's so annoying.
I don't know, it's so annoying. Then it will be okay, if we can't use those arrows,
That's just supposed to return the value, so what you've got there is fine. When we set the value, that's where we need to append to the array, right?
yes. So
Still fading. It's like it's not being set. Def foo history equals val.
and it's like
Oh wait, it's getting confused here with this. There. That's the problem there. Sorry, I just bit the bit bug. Carry on.
History. Let's say we set it equal to that attribute name history and then insert that value. Maybe. Do you think that will work?
No.
Not.
Because that's us saying array equals array append val. So that's what we should actually use. You understand? So you're saying append this value.
Yeah, but so
yeah.
append it to the existing array. It's like, won't that work?
Yeah. There should be one existing because we declared it up here.
Yes.
Why it's not finding it? I don't know. Undefined method blah blah from null class. Why? What if we'd use that? Which it has to. It's like this variable doesn't exist. Why not?
This val or what?
Yeah.
And if we pass, let's say, this, will this work?
Maybe. Let's see. No. Still complaining about. It's complaining about this part. It's saying that we're trying to append to a null. You see? So it should be like that. Well, it's like almost like this is not being initialized over here. Is it because it's outside of the?
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. What if we do history equals empty if let's say this attribute name history is null.
So
no, null is like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's actually supposed to be equal to the initial null case, right? So like that, yeah. Carry on.
And then then we maybe append it to that because now it will not append to null. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, just to val. That's good. We don't have to.
Okay, yeah, we could have used that.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's see if it passes. No. It's complaining about wrong number of arguments.
0 for 1.
So it may be getting confused because of the brackets. Oh wait. So yeah, no, it should be fine. Attribute name foo equals is complaining on the test on line 43. Let's have a look at the spec on line 43 to see what it's doing.
Should remember history separately for each instance.
Doesn't make sense.
This define history, was this there already?
No, we added it in now. Because that's supposed to give us like foo history, not with the val, sorry. That I think is the problem. Well, we've got one of them passing.
Okay.
Nil x and nil xy. I think this test case is not right. Have a look at the test case. Go here to line 43.
Line 43. Yes.
So if you have a look here, right, we've got object 1, it's created, right? Object 2 is created. And then object 1.foo is equal to x, and object 1.foo is equal to y. And then object 2 foo is equal to 1, object 2 foo is equal to 2. But then they're saying that the foo history should only include x and only should include 1. What about the y and the 2 that we declared?
Yes. Because for every instance that's created, it should save the history. So ours is correct.
No, that's not right at all. How the hell do we like tell them that their stuff is wrong though?
I don't know. It should remember history separately for each instance. Oh, okay. Maybe it should remember like null x and then xy. No, that can't.
No, it must give you a list because look, if you've got object 1, they put 1 and 2 into, right? I'm sorry, object 1 they put x and y, so it's got x. In object 2 they're comparing and it should only have 1.
Oh.
No. Let's just look at the instructions.
Maybe it should.
Yeah.
Ours return the current value as well. It shouldn't return like y as well, only the previous values. You understand? Like it was null xy. Y is the current value, so y shouldn't be part of the history, only when the next value is added. Maybe something like that.
Just reading through the documentation, sorry, just to make sure we're not missing something here. And there's always no. So.
Okay, now just try running the tests now. Or save and then run.
I need to save your file. Nope.
Still not.
But it makes no sense. They set 2 different values, so how can they expect it to only have 1 value? No. See, it says here, attribute's initial value is always null, so by default, so if history of who has never been assigned, the answer is an array with the value null.
You know what's also happening here? We set it equal to null each time.
No, that's just the initial time, right? Because you did your check. There's a conditional check there. So attribute name history is equal to null if the history is a null object. You understand? So you're only doing that once. But it only happens once.
Okay.
But have a look here. Look at the documentation.
The test, it's null x.
Oh, you know what's happening here? Okay, have a look at the docs. Or look at my screen share.
Okay.
We're looking at this. Can you see what I'm looking at?
Yes, I can see.
See over there. So if you look at this f value, right? They set bar to 3, bar to wazo, and then bar to boo. But the history only contains the old values, not the current value. That's what we're doing wrong.
That's what I tried to say to you like earlier.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So then what we need to do is before we set the value, must be a blank thing, right? We pass that and that. That should do it, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Fine, okay, fine. It's working now, right?
It passed all the tests.
Yes, I think so. Let's just
Wow.
really spec. What was it again? The
It's
battery
access
accessor with history.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So shall we submit this and see what happens?
Yes, let's do that.
Then I think we're done. Sorry about that. I was not thinking.
No, it's fine.
It's been a long day. And. Come on, it's a bit slow. Yep. Boom, no failures. Full marks.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let me stop this broadcast.